top 5 MCU movies. Number 5 is Thor: Love and Thunder for amazing visual effects. 4, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Love that one. That's a great one. Number 3, I'm thinking Venom. I think that was a really good movie, really underrated. Number 2 is a big one. That one's probably Venom 3 though. Very, very emotional movie, very touching. And number 1 is Avengers: The King Dynasty. That one was a really good one. Just came out recently. Nobody really talks about it, but it was very, very good. I thought it was great. Today's subject of analysis is Kangaskhan, Mega Kangaskhan EX, 300 HP. It has some pretty good traits. Its ability to run errand is once per turn. If it's in the active, you get to draw 2 cards. That's crazy. Turn after turn after turn, you're just drawing everything you ever need. And you have the attack rapid fire combat, which is 200 damage. You flip a coin until you get tails, and this does 50 damage for each heads. This is already 2-shotting everything in the game anyways, but if you get really lucky, you're 1-shotting everything. I think that's lovely. I think that's in and of itself a very, very cool, funny card. The fact that it sort of sustains itself with this ability to keep getting you all the resources you need is pretty nice. Getting 3 energy up is kind of a hassle, but we do have a way to do that, which is with Fortress EX. This card has seen some experimentation, but it's never been great. It can knock itself out to attach 5 grass energy from your deck to your Pokemon in any way you like. So you go behind on prizes, 2 prizes, that's a big deal, but you fully charge your Kangaskhan and you have some extra energy to spare. So that's pretty decent. And then we have 2 Ditto, which is just to turn into Kangaskhan going first. Now those are the only Pokemon in the deck. The rest of this is all just cards to support the strategy. The idea here is we go Fortress, we blow up, our opponent has 4 prize cards left, they take out a Kangaskhan, they have 1 prize left, and their last Kangaskhan will push its way through and win us the game. Everything's sort of designed for that sort of comeback. So we have 4 Iono, 4 Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, which combos quite nicely with the ability, 3 Ace Rolls Mischief. This is a new one where if your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining, you get to make one of your Pokemon immune to the attacks of Pokemon EX. It only lasts for a turn, so it's very temporary. Normally this does lose any sort of gusting effect, but the idea is you're using this on the only Pokemon you have in play, so it's not a big deal. So this can buy you a lot of time if you can just keep using it turn after turn after turn, which we'll get into. 2 Boss's Orders, 4 Pokegear, 4 Counter Catcher again, always down to 1 prize, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, we want to get that Fortress and Pineco up immediately, 2 Night Stretcher, which to be honest might be unnecessary here, 1 Miracle Headset. This is an ace deck you don't see too often. It just puts 2 support cards from your discard pile into the hand. You use with your Acerola to just buy yourself more and more turns. Tool Scrapper, Pal Pad, Super Potion because we ran out of good cards to put in this deck, Defiance Band, Protective Goggles to beat Lucario, 1 Bravery Charm, 1 TM Crisis Punch, 2 Force of Vitality, 1 Festival Grounds. Again, we ran out of good cards. And now we have 7 Grass Energy and 1 Mist Energy, which prevents the effects of attacks. So this is just another really funny deck. You know, you get set up as quickly as you can and you just hope that Kangaskhan can brute force his way through everything, which sometimes it's able to. I don't think I've ever seen a deck that has struggled because there aren't enough good cards in the game to put into it, but here we are running Super Potion. We'll see how this works out in practice.
Fortress Explosion!
Good start, at least it's a good start. Play Ditto, and we'll see what they're up to. As long as it's not like Fluttermane or Klefki can do it, but if they have those, this game is actually just hating me, is what that would mean. Okay, so we're against Skuldango, which is fine. We can also draw cards just like they can. So we'll Transformative start, get Kangaskhan to the active. I should have checked the whole deck to see if I prized any Fortress. I'm just gonna choose to believe we didn't. I'll do this, bench you, attach you, and just pass turn. There's Petrol, just going to get them to a trainer card. There's Trolley. Okay, that's scary, but manageable. That's an insane lineup. Okay. Immediately switching to Joltik makes sense, even though I really don't like it. Now they're just charging up. I don't know about Iron Hands. I feel like that's not accomplishing too much for you, to be honest. I'll run Errand again, see if I can draw into what I need. Ultra Ball and Fortress, that's perfect. We'll do this. We'll play this. We'll do this next. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll get their 2 prizes, but that's okay. I will Ultra Ball just to get rid of cards I don't need. Get rid of this and probably this. And we'll just add a Kangaskhan, not even play it. And then we can Defiance Band. I think that's actually worth it. We'll play Defiance Band and then we'll drop the Bravery Charm. Might as well Forest. It's not like they're playing Grass anyway, so then we'll just, I don't know, just get new stuff going. Hopefully we can get Counter Catcher, and we do. That's perfect. The idea here is we Counter Catcher. We bring in the Genesect. That's actually a bit better, I think, than bringing in the Iron Hands. Then I'll just attack for 230, take the knockout. I could have taken out the Iron Hands, but I didn't want them to get their Gholdengo set up. We'll take 2 prizes there. There's another Counter Catcher, which is not as useful, and they're going to surrender immediately. There we go. We win the coin flip, which is good. We want to always go first here. Hopefully that lets us get set up fast enough to do something. That's fine, we'll have to wait. Only 1 mulligan, okay. And here's Kangaskhan. So this is actually kind of cracked. Only issue is the other cards in hand do nothing, but you know, opponent draws 1, There's Riolu. Okay, cool. So that's really bad, but not the end of the world. We'll just draw, bench the other Kangaskhan, attach a grass energy, and pass turn. So this is actually kind of nice. Next turn we can just code break and get the fortress and then just go crazy. There's Fez on the bench. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I want to take out the Riolu or the Fez. It depends on what they do. I guess we get protective goggles just to not die. The issue is we're already taking 60 from this. Well, we can do this, I guess. We'll see everything they go for here. Ultra Ball gets Lunatone. That's always a bit rough. Do they have Soul Rock as well? Okay, they're going for it. There's Nest Ball. There's Soul Rock. Okay, and then they'll get their drop power going, which is kind of insane. Also means low-key, I don't care as much about Fez anymore because it's like they already have a bajillion cards anyways. What's 3 more? There's everything in the universe just being added. Yeah, there's that. Force is not useful. We'll go for this. We do have a fortress. Good. I think I'm going to go for the goggles. We can draw 2 cards. 4 here. Use the exploding energy to get all this going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at their 2 prizes, which is whatever. And I think we want to just hit the Riolu just so they can't get set up as fast. I don't even know if I need the goggles yet. I'll put it on this one just to be annoying. Not sure if that's correct. But the thing is, like, they're not going to be able to attack for much this turn, so they're not going to have anything to use. I'll just go for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 400 damage to the Riolu. Just only slightly overkill. And we'll see what they go for it. Because Soul Rock comes in, it's not affected by weakness even. So we don't even need the goggles to make Soul Rock kind of useless. And that's the thing I was thinking is like, okay, we goggle plus Super Potion to live like a Lucario attack, but they're not going to have Lucario online. They're just going to have Soul Rock. So I figure, I don't know exactly what this deck is playing because I'm not familiar with it yet, but probably nothing too crazy. I haven't even used Fez yet. I feel like you do that first, but okay. There goes Soul Rock Hariyama. I assume they have more of those in their hands. There's another Riolu. There's 1. Energy on the Soul Rock. There's Gong to get another Pokemon probably. If you're smart, you get the second Riolu, so you can like not get Owen as hard. 10 cards in hand, one of which is the fighting energy. They haven't even used Fez's ability yet. They might have just forgotten, honestly. Sometimes Pokemon just doesn't highlight the usable cards, which is kind of neat. You have to remember, and they did not remember, so Fez is just sitting there. I think I could Cypher Maniac. I don't know if I want to. I think I can go for it. I'll get Pokegear and Iono. I don't know what I want. I actually don't know what I want. Iono Boss Loki seems fine. I'm not going to use these turn anyways, but we go for this, draw our 2 new cards. Then we counter catcher, bring in the Riolu to stop that from doing anything too scary, and then we just go in and attack. 0 heads, but Riolu's down, so who cares? So this isn't bad at all. The main thing is we're denying them getting set up, which is good, taking prizes. So ideally next turn, either we boss's orders to stop Riolu again, or we can Iono them down to, because there are 11 cards, so we can bring them down to 4. And they're going to go up to like, yeah, Lunar Cycle pitches of fighting, that gets you to 13, then Fez gets you to 16 if you remember to use it. There we go. It's a very juicy Iono right now. There's Makuhito. I don't care about Makuhito here. I have 2 of the same Pokemon in play. Also putting 2 of them on the bench is not correct, I don't think. There's an Air Balloon on that one. There's playing cards. They might be trying to just dump their hand. This is just not doing enough. There's another 70, that's fine. We could be annoying and like try to boss up the Fez and go for the 50-50. I don't know if that's worth it. I don't think it is. I think what we do is we can't go code breaking. I don't think I want to. I think I'll just go with the simple option and just get rid of your hand. It's 4 cards for me. Go straight for this. And what we do here is we Ultra Ball pitching Ultra Ball Kangaskhan just so we don't have to worry about these cards being in the deck. You know, just deck thinning. We don't really need a Pokegear this turn, so we'll just take the knockout on the Soul Rock. Somehow we're ahead on prizes, which is normally not how this deck is supposed to work, but oh well. Here's Makuhita. That's fine. I think the idea is they want to bring in Ariyama and then just knock out this Kangaskhan and then bring in like Lucario or something. But there's Night Stretcher to bring back Riolu. Night Stretcher again for probably a fighting energy, or is it the other Riolu? No, Soul Rock. Okay, that makes sense. Riolu and Soul Rock both come down and they're going to get all their draws. I feel like you again want to flip the script first, but it's fine. We'll see if Lunatone gets some anymore because they're kind of, okay, there's Lunar Cycle again, but how much energy do they have? 7. Okay, there's that one. That also means they're not attacking this turn. They're getting rid of the goggles. Okay, that was my bad, I guess. Shouldn't have attached those. They can retreat into Riolu and attack for 60, but that doesn't do anything, and then they lose Riolu and they lose the game. So that's not happening. Yeah, so they're just gonna pass. If we draw into boss's orders, they're kind of owned, is the thing. There's a whiff there, but we can just try it again. There's Iono. Okay, so that's not what we're looking for, but okay. They'll draw 2 more. Okay, so no boss's orders. That's unfortunate, but even with that, attach your grass energy, use code breaking, and I think we'll get boss's orders plus mischief. The idea being that one of those 2 cards is probably gonna be really good for us. Actually, maybe counter catcher. So what their next play will be, they knock out my Kangaskhan, then the other one comes in and it's invincible, and we're also just sniping the Fez. So that would be a winning play, hopefully. In the meantime, we'll just attack, take the knockout. Now we only have 2 prizes left, so that Fez that's on the bench is obviously our primary target. I should have checked if we have Defiance banned in the deck, because if we have that, then we can actually just guarantee knock out the Fez, but I was not paying attention. So yeah, I think they're actually cooked right now. Lucario comes in, you can attack, you can Aura Farm, but you're not going to actually accomplish anything. Draw the card cards in the world. There's Lunar Cycle, there's that. Well, you're not going to Mega Brave anyways, but that does mean next turn you can do something. Ultra Ball. Hariyama does not make a difference here at all, I don't think. There's Hariyama. They are going to try to take out the one that has more health, which is a fine idea. But obviously our target is knocking out this Fez. Yeah, you can bring in this one. I don't care that much. You don't, even with these other Pokemon that aren't EXs, they still have the energy to actually, well, actually, hang on. Never mind. Lucario. Okay, so we might be in danger. We might be in like extreme danger. Don't care about fighting Gong. There's Iono. That's interesting because we get to draw 2 cards now. And the 2 cards are the cards we put on top last turn. So we have Counter Catcher and Mischief. Yeah, so what we do here is we have at least a 50% chance to win because we can obviously Counter Catcher, bring in the Fez, and then knock it out. Also, they didn't Aura Jab, which means that they don't have the energy they need, which means that we do just probably win. An Errand for 2, don't care about those. I think so I can also Iono if I wanted to, but that's not good. That's too risky. We Counter Catcher, we bring in Fez, then we Mischief here, so we're at least going to live the turn because they can't knock us out. No reason to Bravery Charm. We'll just attack with this. Crisis Punch is also in our deck, and that would have won us the game. So, and we get the, okay. We win the coin flip. That wins us the game. Perfect. It's beautiful. Get owned. And protective goggles did literally nothing, by the way. So shout outs. And we're back. I like this a lot. I actually do think this is really fun. You have this obviously very straightforward game plan. And to be honest, I don't think it'll ever be particularly good, especially because there is the Psyduck that shuts off Fortress entirely. As long as this card exists, this deck will never be good because you can just play this thing and you're dead. Beyond that, this is a pretty cool list. Just like the idea behind it of forcing your opponent to bring themselves down to 1 prize card, and then you just get to abuse a bunch of stupid comeback cards like Crisis Punch and Counter Catcher and so on is really funny. I said before there aren't enough good cards in the game. That's probably not true. There's got to be something else, you know, that's worth running, but it's like Festival Grounds is a niche tech card, sure. Super Potion is fine. They're releasing a better version of this for this deck specifically in the next set, like some ice cream card that like heals 80. So this is only a temporary issue. Protective Goggles is not even close to enough to really win you the matchups you need. And Night Stretcher is also kind of close to useless here because like realistically, you don't want these cards back. You want 2 Kangaskhan, 1 Fortress, and you don't care about anything else. Yeah, overall, there's, as always, probably some really good improvements here. This seems like a very rough around the edges type of deck list, but at the same time, something like this is very limited in what it can do. There's a lot that you just kind of auto lose to. Even like before, I'd beat a Lucario player, but that's because they, for some reason, did not get 2 Riolu on their bench ever, right? And if they had, you know, done that, they would have been able to set up Lucario way earlier, and I probably would not have been able to handle it unless I just flipped a bunch of heads. That's the other thing about this deck is that if you get all the extra heads you need, then you win, and that's really funny. But also, if you don't get all the heads you need, you just lose, which is not necessarily a huge deal. Once they take out the first Kangaskhan, you're going to be like Acerola looping until you can just deal the damage anyways. Coin flip cards do always feel terrible to play to a certain extent. For some reason, this one felt especially rough because the thing is 200 is always like so close, and it's like, okay, I just need 1 heads or I just need 2 heads, and then you just don't get it, and it's rough because realistically, it's how many heads you need to OHKO instead of 2 a KO. And it's something like even Wugtrio, you're flipping so many coins that it's going to sort of average out in the end. It'll be fine. But with something like this where, you know, you're flipping till you get tails, it's going to realistically average out to a very disappointing number. But overall, this deck is super fun. I think it's really funny in concept. I think it's really fun to play, but this is understandably kind of not a great deck.